Hey guys, it's Corrupted
And Dragon.
with Ramen for the Soul, and this week we're on episode 376 to 400. This is when things start getting real.
Yep. The original halfway point of the story, which I thought that was so funny.
I think it was originally supposed to be like the thing that set up the final act, like in his original idea for the story.
The thing when it says that, because Sabaody is the mark that somebody made it halfway through their journey.
That's not what I'm talking about. Like apparently, like
about.
The original plan for One Piece was that it would only go X amount of years. He didn't think he'd get to go as far with it.
Of course, that's a lot of things.
And so it's like all
but
the
no,
stuff with
like when they said that Sabaody marks the halfway mark of their journey, I thought it was funny. Like,
yeah, because
it was at like
halfway through the episodes.
Like three.
It's 370 something or 380.
No, it's 380 something for sure.
Okay, 380. That's close. I know it was.
But no, we'll get there.
And we're only like halfway through the first half. That's what's fun. Because doesn't Marineford, doesn't the arc where Sabaody Part 2 starts at what? Like almost 700? Not quite 700?
I couldn't tell you.
So
without going to look it up.
We're not quite 25% of the way. Not quite. Because by the time we get there, I think next week will be 25% of the way. Okay, how many episodes are there right now?
There's 1114.
Yeah, so yeah. We're about 25% of the way. We're not doing bad on the going through it. But yeah, so this week a lot of big character moments happen. We left off with Kuma arriving at Thriller Bark, and it's Saturn that tells him to kill Straw Hat, right?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, we know it's a world noble.
We know it's an elder.
It's one of them.
But I don't have their voices down packed.
I'm just assuming it's Saturn because I just got through all the stuff with Kuma, like his backstory, and Saturn seems like the most likely one to just be ordering him around. And I got a 20% chance to be right.
No, it's probably. I mean, at that point, because he was the one he was answering to. But yeah, no, what's great about a lot of this stuff that I was looking at is that a lot of these moments, because I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, which, I mean, facts are facts, but a lot of those moments right now that was leading up to right before the nothing happened moment was literally the stuff that will always have Zoro ahead of Sanji no matter where you put him, because of the simple fact that there's a difference between tussling for the outcome and actually doing what's needed for the outcome, because Sanji was just pushing Zoro back and forth in front of Kuma and I'll take you on, I'll take you, no take me, and Zoro's like, forget all this noise, sword to the gut on the ground. No, we're doing this.
There is one. You're gonna be completely like, what's the word? Where like it's like the fancy word for being proven right. Like I can't remember the word, but you're gonna be completely that when we get to episode 1100. I think it's like 1100, because how Sanji sibs for Jenny after, or not when he still calls Bonnie cute and shit like that, and it makes him seem super weird.
Nah, we ain't got to get in that right now.
Yeah, that's but you know that he sounded like Drake.
But I mean, Sanji is Sanji, but he cleaned it up. That's all that mattered.
Yeah.
In that regard, like if he would have kept going on some Drake junk, yeah, I would have to look at him different. But he cleaned it up after the fact, finding out, and he actually took on the role of like a big brother to her, like kinda a little bit, like just trying to keep her out of danger.
The only reason I remember is because I read it this morning.
No, you're right.
There's like he makes like a half-handed comment after he learns.
Yeah,
he's like, "What? My lady radar's never wrong."
Yeah, but we'll get there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if anyone disagrees with you now, when we get there, they can't anymore.
I mean, they couldn't even if we got there, because why would you?
Because people like to be contrarians.
I ain't getting into that. Not getting into that.
But like, the nothing happened moment's really good. I also like how he's just like, I'll beat the shit out of you if you tell them. You know, like the handful of Lola's crew that hear it.
Nah,
or saw it.
Freaking Robin heard it.
Yeah, she grew an ear on the back of one of them.
But I also wanted to add, because this was the nothing happened moment. You know, we talked about how Thriller Bark is pretty much the arc where the crew pretty much solidifies like their camera roll and stuff. And Zoro's the first to open it up. Zoro and Sanji technically are the first to open it up, because in the nothing happened moment, you think how much stuff they had been through at that moment. And Sanji, it was not meant for Sanji. If Sanji would have, it solidifies the point, because a lot of people, I've seen arguments before where people are like, oh, Sanji could have took that damage too. No, he couldn't, because of the simple fact that if the damage and stuff that both of Zoro and Sanji had taken at that point, if a butt to the gut from Zoro's sword put Sanji down, then whatever he was finna go to take from Luffy would have killed him. Like, I 100% believe that. And the taking upon the role of who's finna take that damage, that's Luffy's damage. You know what I'm saying? That's not just any's damage, that's the captain's damage. You know, like, Zoro took that damage because he's supposed to be the right-hand man. And that's why they put Sanji as the left-hand man, because he was also willing to do that. You know, I would say this solidified the hierarchy of the Straw Hat Pirates, because it's like, you don't just get to do something like that and then end up not getting called the number 2 or number, like, high. The only person that could probably, because I'm okay with the theories of Usopp being vice captain. It kind of makes sort of sense, because they had that real friction that you would want as somebody that's supposed to be in charge of your decisions.
I feel like that just proves that Usopp can't be vice captain.
Yeah, I can see that. What I mean? See that side too.
Like,
I can definitely see that.
Remember
too.
Zoro's like exact reason why he didn't want Usopp to come. He was just like, we can't have anyone on the crew that's not willing to put their life on the line for the captain. This man tried to take the captainship from you. That means that he's not with you all the way.
Yeah,
he's with you most of the way.
I retract my statement.
He's with you most of the way. But like, Zoro's the only real ride or die until Jinbei shows up.
Yeah. Truth be told, yeah.
Like if Zoro would have went with them the whole cake, it would have been over in 10 episodes.
What? Bro, I said, I can't wait to get there. I ain't gonna lie to you, I can't wait to get there.
Like, Zoro, the reason Zoro gets lost, right? The reason Zoro gets lost is because Oda doesn't want to have to explain why exposition gets to because the reason he gets lost is because Zoro makes it where we don't get exposition.
Yeah, and to think about it,
cut straight to the point, no pun intended.
Cut straight to the point, literally no pun intended. But you think about it, literally in the comparable of Straw Hats, bro, Zoro is literally second, if not like confirmed, probably second in strength, maybe third. But think about it, Luffy and Zoro in the same area. We're not there yet. But in Wano, we saw what happens with those two guys get in the same area and just let loose to do what they want. Like, we see a lot of, like you said, we don't get to... Zoro getting lost is a way to extend the story.
Yeah, that's what,
100%. 100%.
Except for Sabaody, it's the one time it's relevant to the plot that he gets lost.
Which, we're going to get there too. Yeah. But back to that, though,
but Zoro... also, it shows that he doesn't get lost because he has no sense of direction either.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. So it's more like he doesn't want to go where he's supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll get there in a minute.
But
also, if you think about it, it's kind of crazy because he's the one person in the crew that uses what Luffy's weak to too.
What you mean?
Luffy's immune to everything but slash and puncture attacks.
For the most part. He's kind of...
Like, without hockey?
Like, he kind of takes a, stab at fire, too, but it's in and out.
But, I'm talking about physical damage, like...
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to, like, weapons and stuff, it's either a dart or a sword.
I see what you're saying.
Everything else, just, like, guns, nothing.
For the most part, yeah.
Like,
most of those enemies go to Zoro. We've had a couple, little
it's
slashes.
Just, like, it's a cool moment that he trusts his second mate so much, and his second mate uses one of the few things that can actually hurt him. But Zoro is so dedicated to making sure his captain makes it that it never even crosses Luffy's mind that he's weak to Zoro's fighting style.
No, of course.
But
you look at the same type of stuff that Zoro puts himself in the situations and stuff, because they was talking about at the end of when they were all mentioning on how Luffy always puts himself in danger and how Gear Second took such a big toll on him, and using that against further enemies would be just hard on his body. But you get into that and you see at that moment the rest of the crew was looking at how they were gonna be better and be stronger. Zoro just took it by the brunt, say, I'm gonna do this for my captain. But that's them getting all into their states of understanding that they're weaker and they need to get stronger, which lead us into Sabaody. But all that stuff that Zoro represents is just magnified so much in this arc. And I think you could say Zoro really ate. Even when he got Shusui, and at the end of that, with him talking to Brooke at that grave that Frankie made, was just
Yeah, and that grave is crazy too.
Yeah.
But we'll get to the grave in a minute. But so long story short, what happens? Kuma shows up, beats the crap out of literally everyone still standing. Cause Kuma, we did the power rankings before, Kuma's probably second place.
Probably, yeah.
He might be third, but he's no lower than third. Cause Don Flamingo, but also it's
Don Flamingo.
I don't even know if Don Flamingo is stronger.
No.
After getting caught up,
I 100.
I think.
I 100%.
I think he's fighting for first or second.
I 100% say Kuma is literally up there, because you think about the type of stuff that he can do, just in general, oh my god.
Also, we haven't even seen his fruit awakened yet, and it could be one of the strongest awakened.
But even just going off the stuff that we see him do just in Thriller Bark, being able to repel pain out, and the Ursa shock move that he just did, you talk about how he just can touch someone and just gone. I remember first watching it and thinking that they just disintegrated, but the man is OP. He don't gotta fight you. He really doesn't have to fight you in the grand scheme of things, because he's not slow either.
Actually, I'm wrong. Actually, no. Kuma, as a warlord, is 100% the strongest warlord.
Yeah.
Because...
No, 100%, yeah.
I was thinking about it. I was at base, he might be able to meet Dolph Flamingo. They both can use high. He might be able to beat Dolph. I'm not sure that's a tough... But then I just thought about it, he has all the modifications.
Yeah.
At that after he becomes warlord, he has the ability to do a stronger version of what Kizaru does, because it's based off it. We'll meet Kizaru in a minute. It's actually him showing up as the last moment of these episodes.
Yeah.
But it's a more concentrated version of one of his strongest attacks. He has metal in his bones now. He's like Wolverine in that regard.
The only thing I can think of,
and his muscles are thicker than normal.
The only thing I can think of is just how strong would Doflamingo's strings be against Kuma, and I don't think they'll be that strong. Because Kuma's hella strong.
What's it called? He might be.
Strong,
he might be one of the without his modifications. He might be one of the physically strongest characters in the He's not as strong as Jesus. I love that is his name.
Yeah, Burgess.
He's the dude with the wrestling mask that we met back at Mogtown.
Mogtown, yeah.
Yeah. Is it Mog or Mock?
Somewhere.
It's because sometimes in the manga it's Mog and sometimes it's Mock.
I mean they do that a lot.
Yeah.
But Burgess, he got the strong fruit. He gets the strong fruit. Don't got that right now, but he ends up getting that. But as far as like,
that's like the only person I can think of. That's
I don't even think
maybe Garp.
Just physical strength. Yeah, Garp probably. Yeah, Garp.
Like no hockey, no nothing.
Garp.
Like maybe
Garp.
Kaido.
Garp.
Like,
it's canon now.
It's
canon now that Garp is his own coup de burst. So, hey, bro, Garp is his own coup de burst, man. Garp's strong as shit now.
Garp's probably got like the second best hockey in the show.
He
and
did
probably
that
the
with
second
what I'm talking about. He did that with no hockey. that boy in the anime literally jumped up, said charge, punched the air, and the whole ship popped and went straight in there. I'm like, oh my god. Oh, you talking
about that moment?
Oh my god, dude, he's his own coup de burst.
I thought that used advanced armament hockey.
And that man didn't use no hockey in that moment.
The manga made it look like advanced armament hockey.
Dude, in the manga, they didn't even. I don't even think they showed how he got in the air in the manga. I think
they just showed the onomatopoeia of hitting something.
Yeah. So okay, that's better. But still, like, bruh, that junk there, bruh, still got me kind of blowed. But we gonna get there. That right there, that's physical strength. I definitely right now without any type of additive, I give it to Garp until I see like somebody else do something crazy. Because even Burgess, his strongest thing he did was pick up a big ass rock and throw it so far. So
and they tried to say it was a mountain, but it wasn't.
It was. I don't know if it was a mountain, but it was definitely.
It was a hill. Big. Let's be real.
I'll take
it's a hill.
Big ass.
He threw a hill. That's impressive. Don't get me wrong. Throwing a hill's impressive.
He made it look effortless, so it don't look like he struggled doing it. So that's a good thing.
Like picking up a hill is impressive. But it's not a fucking mountain.
Kuma's definitely strong as hell. Like even in the stuff right now where he had the modification stuff already, and
I think post modification like we're talking about Doflamingo, but like thinking about it more, isn't Mihawk probably stronger because he's the only person that's beat Shanks?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you because Mihawk stuff is so like it's hard mysterious. To say. Because
we don't know nothing except for like
we've only seen him do one, like a total of maybe like 3 whole swings of his sword. We ain't really seen what it looked like him to be challenged. We ain't really seen him one shot anybody yet besides Zoro. But
the big thing is he is regarded at least an equal to Shanks, if not greater than Shanks. Yeah. And we know Shanks is probably the strongest fighter. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I couldn't tell you yet.
Well, he took down an entire fleet with one attack, but part of that was the rest of the fleet ran away because of how bad they got their asses beat. But
he took an entire fleet with one attack.
That's half of it was the release of his hockey made most of the kid's fleet pass out.
Kid don't got a fleet.
Or the other ships with him.
Kid doesn't have a fleet.
Then the manga's just paneled fucking weird.
No, you gotta realize Shanks' fleet was there.
I know, but they made it like because I read it yesterday. That's how the paneling was weird. But he does knock out like all the ships around him, and all the newbies, like all the new recruits. He knocks like everybody out.
Yeah, he definitely did that.
But yeah, back to Kuma. Probably the strongest person, the strongest Shibuya Kai or whatever. Pre-time skip, I'd say he's probably the strongest. Like, second place at worst. Because what's called pre-time skip, Don Flamingo's not awakened. So. But
Pre-time step Doflamingo don't got the same feats as pre-time step Kuma.
Yeah.
Because by that point, bro, you find out, because you got the backstory, you find out all the stuff Kuma had done by the time he is where he is at there. Nah, Kuma's definitely up there for pre-time skip.
Yeah. And also, it looks like he's the one that spent most of the time training Sabo, how they frame it.
Oh, of course.
Like he looks,
but
they frame it like Kuma's in charge of training everybody in combat. But yeah,
I think that was his title, the personnel.
That's how
trainer.
they made it look in the manga.
I think that is what his title was. If I think in the SBS or something they said it,
but he shows up. One of the elders, probably Saturn, tells him, bring me Luffy's head and kill all the Straw Hats. So Kuma jumps down, beats the dog mess out of everybody. Like Zoro tries to stand to him, and Zoro gets slapped around. Zoro cuts his shoulder, sees that he's got robot parts, and it's just like, there's no way I can beat this man. Like, also, like, there's only one time Zoro was like that, and that was against Mihawk. It's like
he went against Mihawk with absolute conviction and accepted his death. But
I'm saying, like, he knew that he couldn't win after a certain point.
Yeah, but that's Zoro, though. But in Kuma's thing, like, he wasn't finna give up.
Like, but no, I know he's like, I'm gonna die trying, but I know I can't win this.
That's what ended up. It was like that ended up turning into it was take him and leave Luffy, as him and Sanji ended up, fighting to do.
Yeah, him and Sanji fight over who gets to sacrifice themselves.
Yep.
Zoro wins the fight, one shot Sanji.
Yep.
Sanji goes to sleep, and Kuma does some admittedly gangster stuff. He's like, you can leave, and I'll let you live, or I'll just kill you all and kill Straw Hat anyway. And then Zoro, this is the only time I think we've seen Zoro beg. Like, even like in the future, I can't think of a time Zoro ever begged.
No, you're right.
Like, I can't think of a single... No. The only other time Zoro begged was right before time skip. There's one other time Zoro begged.
Oh,
there's only two times in the entire show that I can remember.
Mihawk.
That
begged him to train him.
That he begs, but he doesn't kowtow to anybody, but Kuma. Like, he actually like kowtows, like he bows his head. Like,
no, he did that to Mihawk too.
I thought he just got on his knees.
No, his face hit that ground, boy.
I forgot about that.
But that was the panel.
He's so full on, like, headbutts the ground so hard when his head gets picked up. He's got a thing on his forehead. He's got, like, dirt smudges on his forehead. Asking Kuma, please take me instead. Kill me. I'll take Straw Hat's place. And Kuma goes, only if you can take all the pain he's had from this fight. Because...
No, it wasn't even the fight. It was all the pain he had built up. Like, not even from that fight. It was, he still had pain from the fight before with, what's buddy name? Oh, yeah, Lucci. He still had some fights left from pain and stuff from Lucci. And a little bit from, the little beating and stuff he took from all the, on the way there from all the Marines and stuff like that. That's not just pain. He takes away fatigue and all that too.
Yeah, it's like his tiredness,
burdens, all that, like all that. So,
and Zoro doesn't just take it. Like, he gets a little piece of it and it knocks him off his feet.
Yeah, like took all the air out of his body, put him on the ground.
Yeah, he screams, and that's how two of Lola's people know what happened. Is they say they heard him scream and it made him look, and then after he eats that, Zoro's like, that was nothing, and then Kuma's just like, that's just a little taste, and then pushes out a boulder-sized paw print looking like something out of Blue's Clues but pink. He's like, now you gotta deal with that. And so it's crazy. You don't see exactly what happens. It like fades to black, and then it shows back Zoro standing, barely standing, covered in blood, and there's blood all over the floor. Like, all over the floor. Like, it looked like somebody died, like, was ritually sacrificed and bled out in front of Zoro. Like, and you gotta remember, like, before this, he was already effed up from the Ryuma fight. So, he took all
Not even a
Luffy's
Ryuma
pain.
fight. You think about their fight with Oars.
Yeah,
And then
the
that
fight.
climax with Moria. Like, he took some serious damage by that point.
No, but here's the big thing. That just shows how hard Mihawk fucking hit him.
Yeah.
Because, what's it called? The Mihawk slash from Mihawk took him forever to recover.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Because it made it where he couldn't fight full strength against Hachi. He almost dies in the Hachi fight, even though he could, like, wipe the floor with Hachi. Like, it's not even close. Like, it even is a plot point later on where he's just like, he tells Hachi, you never actually touched me. That was just my former wounds. And Hachi's just like, oh, shit. That cracked me up.
Like, you never actually did nothing to me. I just had a wound that already softened up and you just reopened it.
It just
feel
reopened
good
hitting
about
you.
Yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. I
feel
kicked
good
your
about
ass so
yourself.
bad, I hurt myself hurting
And that
you.
goes back to what we say about Zoro just being a point of a plot extender. Because you think if he was at full strength, just how our long park would have went.
Well, we can't have two Luffys.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's literally it. We can't have two Luffys.
Yeah, we can't. Like, the story would be way too short if we had two Luffys.
And that's the thing too, though, because minus in Wano's case, and you can say that for because Zoro wasn't there for Dressrosa, but
No, he's there for Dressrosa. He's not there for Whole
I'm
Cake.
talking about I'm thinking about
Whole Cake.
yeah, my bad. I'm
You're
thinking about
good.
Whole Cake, but in the sense of Dressrosa, you think about how he took on Pika in, you know,
He beat the shit out that man.
which was, but I don't think nobody else could have did that. When you think about it, you could have put, because a lot of people love to switch their opponents and stuff like that, and I'm just like, bruh, the type of stuff Zoro take on, like, because people did that in
Luffy's
Wano.
probably the only one that could, but Luffy would have fell for all the tricks Pika had.
He would have fell for all the tricks, and I don't think he would have been able to do that much damage to him in that small amount of time.
There's also an argument if Luffy would have fought Pika, he would have made so much fun of his voice that he would have came out the ground.
Yeah, he would have just
To be like, how dare you?
I think he would have made him fun of him to the point that he would have destroyed the whole fucking city. But we gonna get there. That's
we're gonna get there. That's about 12 weeks away, I think.
I ain't even gonna count it. I'm just gonna let it ride.
Something like that. But
this should go by faster, like way
faster than you think.
I thought.
Yeah, I thought we were like 2 weeks away from where we are now when I was looking at it. But
then especially when these fillers and stuff start popping up.
Yeah.
But what was it? Because we talked about that. Zoro being in the pool, that whole pool when he was standing there. It's like he was really, like, you can see he was pretty much like, he was in a state of, like, supreme shock and all that. Like, everything about Zoro at that point was screaming death. And for them to come right around and leave there just to go right back into Sabaody, like, what? It's just crazy, just the amount of not give a fuck that Zoro has.
Yeah, it's almost like
about it,
like Luffy gets his conqueror's haki from being like, I'm gonna do what I want to do no matter what, no one can tell me.
Yeah.
Zoro's is just from, fuck you guys, I'm going home, but then he gets lost on the way home. But after that, we get a banquet, or what do they call it? They call it a party, but I can't remember if they call it a feast or a banquet. With the Lola pirates, the big hippo lady, they saved her. I love the fact that they're like, who the heck put the treasure on our ship and gave us all this food? They're so nice, but it was actually Perona did it to run away. but it's just Perona was the first person Kuma ran into. So it just cracks me up that they're just like, whoever thought of it was such a nice person. But nah, it was the opposite. They were just trying to steal the ship and abandon them. But Kuma just happened to show up and do Kuma things.
Yep.
So we learn Brooks and the Rumbar Pirates are the ones that made the promise to Laboon.
To come back, yep.
Yeah. And Luffy's just like, hey, we met Laboon. We met Crocus. What a small world. And
look, I don't think Brooke knew about Crocus at the time.
He was working at he was the lighthouse keeper at the time. Because Crocus was only on Gold D. Rogers' ship for
I gotta
3
remember.
years.
No, I gotta remember that Brooks' time is before Rogers' time.
His was 50 years ago. He's 88 years old now. Because he was 38 when he set off.
But I just gotta remember that because he knew Roger was a rookie, so Crocus hadn't got there yet. I mean, Roger hadn't got to.
Brooke actually says that. He's just like, I've heard of a young upstart rookie named Roger.
Nah, that freaking turnaround. Like, I still remember watching One Piece and getting to this point and seeing that whole turnaround. Because it was like, this is one of those moments where Laboon literally was like such a random piece. Like, but a good random piece. And for him to actually have such a significant piece in the story was like almost a breath of fresh air. Like, I didn't even think that he would have such a significant piece in the story, but that's one of the moments that every One Piece fan should be looking forward to, is the reunion of Brook and freaking Laboon.
Yeah, and also like how Brook refuses to turn around, even though it would only take 2 weeks tops to see him again. It's because that's not what he promised Laboon. In
all honesty, you're 100% right. It wouldn't even take that long to go back at that point, but
yeah, because they're only a couple months into the journey.
Yeah.
At this point, the Straw Hats are they've only been at sea for a couple months.
But Brook whole existence in the Straw Hats is like the whole thing with like the metaphor and stuff, because Brook says he gave up on life. Brook gave up on life, like, for the literal thing of, like, he was ready to die. Like, that man was ready to be over and done with. And for him to come back after joining the Straw Hats again, and it's almost like he got reincarnated a second time. Like, got revived a second time almost.
And was given a reason to live.
Yeah. Like, bro, that was literally the epitome of everything. Like, Luffy giving people basically a new life and, chasing their dreams again, which, bro.
Yeah, and then we got the legendary rendition of Bink Sake. I actually have it written down, just because I thought it was important. The lyrics of Bink Sake, because it's called Binks' Booze in the anime.
Brew. Binks' Brew.
I thought it was called Booze.
Brew.
Or is that like what they say in the song? I don't know.
Binks' Brew in English,
but
Binks Sake in Japanese.
So basically, the manga version of the song it's just saying the what's it called? The journey of a pirate. Or not necessarily even a pirate, but they're delivering some alcohol to a customer. At least that's what it sounds like. That Binks is a customer. It doesn't really tell you for sure, but it's like their promise to make sure it gets there is what the song's about. Like, their promise to make sure they get to the journey's end with the thing that they promised to bring with them. So it's kind of like a metaphor for the entire show if you think about it.
Oh, of course.
Because, like, what's it called? It's it says, like, the first line, besides the or technically it's 8 times of yo-ho, ho-ho. It's going to deliver Bink Sake following the sea breeze, riding on the waves far across the salty deeps, the merry evening sun, which has so much meaning now.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Post Nico, like that line.
That has so much meaning now.
Yeah, because he's literally talking about the Sunny at that point.
Yeah.
Because Mary passed away, so the
Evening sun would be,
yeah,
I'm with it.
be the Sunny. Painting circles in the sky as the bird sings, farewell to the harbor, to my old hometown. Let's sing out with the dawn. D-O-N. It's a funny thing about
Don't
the
stop,
dawn.
because they don't know yet.
No. I'm just going to tell what that dawn means. It's the onomatopoeia in Japanese for a drum. So it's like, let's sing out with the sound of a drum. As the ship sets sails, wave of gold and silver. That's talking about them meeting Roger and Rayleigh. Dissolve into salty sprays. As we set sail to the end of the sea. That's the entire point of their journey. They're going to the end of the sea.
Set sail dissolve into the salty sprays, descend into the water as we set sail to the end of the sea, the red line.
Well, it could also be that, but I'm saying they're trying to completely circumnavigate the globe. So if they do that, like they're trying to get to the end of the world, so the end of the sea. That's how I was reading it.
No, you good.
Like in my head, that's what the metaphor sounded like to me. And then it's going to deliver Bink Sake. We are pirates slicing through the seas. The waves are pillows as the ship our roost flying the proud skull on our flag and our sails. Now comes a storm through the far off sky. Now the waves are dancing, beat upon your drums. If you lose your nerve, this breath could be your last. But if you just hold on, the morning sun will rise. Which has that whole stanza just has so much, like once you get to Wano, like you can see like so much there. Like you could call it a prophecy from Law and all that stuff. Like means so much later on. And then there's 8 more of the yo ho ho ho. And then it's going to deliver Bink Sakes today and tomorrow. Our dreams through the night, waving our goodbyes. We will never meet them again. Going to deliver Beat Sake. Let's all sing out with the dawn. A song of the waves, doesn't matter who you are. Someday you'll just be bones, never ending, ever wondering. Our funny traveling tale. It's just a metaphor for the entire story.
For real.
But it makes it even cooler when you think about that. That's a metaphor for the entire story. Because the most important person Luffy wanted on the ship was a musician.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, when he first sets off, he's like, well, I got to find a musician and then a navigator. Like, the most important thing. First. The most important thing. But he just so happens to pick the musician whose crew's favorite song is Bink Sake, which is just a metaphor for the entire story. Like if you're just at this moment of the story, you can't tell that. But when you get to, like, once you're in Wano, you're just like, this is just everything that's happened so far. Mm-hmm. Like, this is just everything.
No, and that's one of those things, when you look at it, it's just like one of those things. Once you at that moment, like literally when you at that moment, you listen to the song. I remember watching this and my girl actually got tired of it. Like, we had heard it so many times and she had actually got tired of it. And I'm just like, bro. But now, like Corrupted said, going back with that new knowledge and seeing how it is, it's like, bro, this literally tells you so much about what happens. And I think it was a lot of more, like, because of the elements and its using is just as important as the song itself. Like, when you look at when you dissect the lyrics, you see, especially the Merry and Evening Sun, that one line alone just let you know just how important the Merry was, also just how important the Sunny is in that same line.
And then the line of it that I like the most, though, is that waves of gold and silver dissolve to spot. Because it's kind of like saying you're going to follow the path laid by the gold and silver. And we're about to learn in a little bit where the silver comes from, but the gold is Gold D. Roger. And silver, that it's his first mate. His last name is Silvers.
Silvers Rayleigh.
So it's literally following the the path blazed by those that came before.
Yeah.
But once you get even later on, like, this is probably Oda's greatest piece of foreshadowing, just because it explains everything that's gonna happen for the rest of the story. Like this puts Oda at least second, if not first, with foreshadowing, because I completely forgot about this when we had the discussion of where he is on foreshadowing. Cool. But no, this puts him up there, like
just up there.
He's at least tied for first. You know what I mean?
You could just up there is fine.
Yeah,
like you ain't gotta specify.
But it's
just up there. And then it's true. Like, you really think about just how much goes into this. Like, you gotta. The thing I love, which is why I say Kuma's backstory is one of the greatest, just how it ties so many knots. Not even that you didn't even think that could get tighter. It just does it. And going back, looking at this song and these lyrics, it's like, bro, oh my God. Like, I didn't even think these knots could be tied even tighter as they have. But to look at this and it's like, wow. Like, well, they really tell you so much. Like, even when it comes, I feel like when it comes out and they actually confirm that all the stuff, the lies Usopp told were actually foreshadows and truths, if they ever come out and confirm that junk, it's going to be like, wow. Like, that's going to be a jaw-dropping moment.
And then the, like, biggest hidden gem in this thing, though, like, it's not my favorite moment, but it's such a hidden gem, is the word dawn.
Hit 'em. Because
that just means the sound of a drum. And it's let's all sing out with the sound of a drum.
A loud thud. It goes like it's so synonymous, because even we were talking about Tom in Water 7. You know, his favorite word, gusto, and all that. It's like this.
Yeah, in the Japanese version, he's not saying gusto. He's saying the word dawn.
Oh, he is? That's even better.
Yeah.
So literally, like, and I feel like they did that on purpose.
Because it means like a bang.
Yeah.
Like because the big like. The onomatopoeia that it's trying to sound like, I can't put it up because it'll mess up the audio. But do you know what the you heard of the Pride song, right? Like Pride Fighting Championship that was back in Japan.
It's not like their opening song.
Yeah, the dun 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 dun, like that really badass thing. That's the onomatopoeia that Dawn stands for, like those big ass drums, like the Raijin style drums. Where they have the big fat sticks that are like an inch thick, and they hit like dun dun.
I used to know the name.
I can't think of the name either, but that's what that onomatopoeia means. So it means to do things. It's like sing out with a bang or a shout, or with absolute determination.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big one.
Behind.
And then it's also another thing I noticed from reading the manga, because I was just watching it from the longest time. Reading the manga, every time Luffy beats the main bad guy, Dawn there is the onomatopoeia used. So it's just like, it's crazy how connected it is. And the only reason I know what that word means, like, I know the kanji for the word dawn, like that onomatopoeia, is because of the freaking One Piece TCG. The mana system is called Dawn, and it has the kanji on it. Which is hilarious to me, that's the only reason I know it. But yeah, it's to the beat of a drum, but like a loud, thunderous drum. Something with emphasis, something with like the English version of Tom with gusto.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely a good.
And he says it more than once. The song says it more than once, of the let's all sing out with the dawn. Yeah. So, and then there's like, you could go into all this stuff about it being a homophone with DAWN and all that stuff. But that's like with all the imagery in the song also. And like, you could probably go over that for like a couple hours by itself. And we ain't got the ability to do that today. Though I might have to do an actual like video.
Told you, man.
On
definitely worth going
this
into
song.
More. Definitely worth going into more.
Also, I just noticed something. either the persons that the song about name is Binks
There
with
is
an
a
S.
Binks. Yes. There
Okay,
is a
with the
Binks
S.
in the show.
Okay.
There is a confirmed Binks in the show.
No,
I don't know that much about him, but
I was just like, if his name was Bink, the apostrophe would be
in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Yes. No, his
So
name is Binks.
okay. I've probably seen the thing with him, and I just don't remember it. But yeah, the song's great, and it's not just the other important thing. The version that we hear in the show isn't Brooke performing. It's the last ever performance him and his crew ever did.
The Rumbar Pirates. Yep.
Yeah, because it starts as I think it's the last 5 of them that are still alive.
I didn't go.
Because I think they say he says it's a quintet, and then he counts down as everyone passes out from the poison and dies.
Yeah.
Because he's like, it's a quintet,
quartet, trio,
a quartet,
duo,
a trio.
solo.
Yeah, and it slowly fades out on the voice dial until it's just the piano.
That junk hurt when it first happened.
It's a good moment.
That junk hurt when it first happened. Like
It's
that was like Brooke had up until at that point, like Brooke had one of the hardest backstories for me. Like I loved his backstory, and it was done well. I like it. Like how the Revive Eye fruit was such an enigma in of itself, being that like nobody really knew what it did, and he had to die in order to activate it. I thought that was a good touch.
But yeah, it makes it seem like it's one of the more OP fruits.
Yeah.
Especially post time skip, how it works.
Oh yeah.
How you're actually able, like.
Oh yeah.
It confirms that there is an afterlife.
Yeah.
Like it confirms there is an heaven. There is at least or not a heaven. There is at least a hell.
Life.
Not necessarily like the place that you burn, but akin to Hades, like the realm of Hades in the. You know what I mean? Like there's not necessarily a bad place, but there is a place where you go no matter what. Like Hades in the in Greek mythology, it's not necessarily a bad thing to go there. It's only a bad place to go if you were a dick. So it gives him so much room to tell an interesting story.
Oh yeah,
with that fruit, right. It gives him the ability to do a bunch of interesting things.
Even in the thing we talk about how OP it is, like, and I don't know if it was just from the circumstance of Brooke not being able to find his body for so long after it decomposed into a skeleton, but him not being able to die from like natural things that would have killed a regular human, like getting his head chopped off or taking a certain kind of stab wound to a certain place,
or astral projection.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, and that's the big thing, like him being able to manipulate souls, which I think the good touch through music, which is the big thing, because we see the only other person we see who can manipulate souls is Big Mom, and she was performing musicals for everybody. So
yeah, that is true.
You see,
so it's like almost like music is the rhythm of the soul in One Piece.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And what if like we talked last week about what if Luffy could see souls because he doesn't think he can't tell that people don't look similar. It's just that their souls are similar.
Yeah.
So what if he intrinsically knows that music is linked to the soul, and that's why he wanted a musician so bad?
Yeah.
I wouldn't doesn't fit perfectly, but it makes sense within the rules of the universe.
And the thing with Joy Boy too, we think about that too.
Oh yeah,
it almost feels like a whole big puzzle.
Yeah,
because they described the heartbeat like you was talking, like a rhythm, and they use rhythm in a lot of things. And also, Joy Boy,
nothing in Skypiea where they have the party before the Clubhouse match shuts up.
Trust me, yeah.
And Luffy's playing, or not Luffy, Usopp's playing the drum because Luffy can't play an instrument.
That's true.
Which is a big thing. He also can't sing. He is a freaking terrible singer because people tell him to shut up and he can't sing multiple times.
Yeah.
But the thing that's important is that it's what they're doing in Being Sake, like the evening sun's a fire.
Mm-hmm.
They're marching around to it to the beat of a dawn, getting ready to sail in the waters that Rayleigh already sailed through, Rayleigh and Gold Roger, and they're about to find the gold of the Shandorans like the next day. Like there's like the song like has something I think for every arc when you think about it. Just because every arc has the same
because you
basic...
know Bink Sake is the song that's playing when Roger's going back and they're showing us all that in the flashback in Wano, which of course we'll get to, but that's true. And you think about that because you know I told you with the one that you interpreted it different, I thought that was Fishman Island reference. And you know the
it could be Fishman's Island reference.
Yeah, when you talk about the another thing, when you talk about the gold and silver, it could be I would say maybe a Wano reference.
Well, Wano is the land of gold, or it was the land of gold before. So it works, just like thematically.
Yeah.
Because before it was locked up, Wano was the land of gold, and then not quite sure where the silver comes in, but also no, it could be Wano because Pluto.
Yeah, Pluto
is the god of the underworld in the Roman mythology, and it's Wano's where Pluton, the ancient weapon, is hidden. But Hades and Pluto in the myths have control of all the chthonic elements.
Yeah.
So all the elements that you find of the earth.
Yeah.
So the two most precious to ancient civilizations were gold and silver. And
Also
so it would work.
You know, it also could be Zoe. In the simple fact, gold and silver is, you know, sun and moon.
Yeah,
and,
that's also true.
You know, in
there's the
Zoe,
sun and the moon. Yeah.
Zoe, we had the night ruler and the day ruler, and Cat Viper and Dog Storm.
Yeah. I'm not used to his name being Cat Viper. I'm used to it being Neko.
Neko Mamushi, and I can't ever think of Dog Storm's Japanese name.
I can't either. They just call him Dog Storm in the manga.
It's something.
But they call the cat Neko. Neko, whatever.
But Brooke freaking saying what a time to be alive. You know how great it was to be alive. It was almost like his second revival, and that pretty much is what the Ubermensch will want somebody to do. Like the way they would want someone feel following them back to. They don't follow him because he wants them to. It's because they want to follow him. And of course, what was crazy about that was Luffy originally offered him to join the crew, and he originally said yes. But the type of person Brook was, which was really good on his character, is that he's a timid person not really try to just force their way. He always makes a lot of requests. So of course, with everything that had went on to that point, you could easily looked at that moment, and Luffy could have probably changed his mind if he was anybody else at some point. But you know, for him to re-ask it and reopen it again just says just so much. Like what happened after that moment in Brook not feeling the way, you know, when the crew got to sailing again and how he was really out of place, it made sense when you look at that moment, how he had to re-ask if it was okay for him to join the crew. And that was, of course, goes back to what we say, the Ubermensch would only want people who want to follow him and not, you know, that he forced to follow. And that was crazy. Like Brook really, when Brook joined the crew, it almost made the whole metaphor like write itself from that point on, because he literally had somebody who died, was okay with his version of hell. He had lived with it and had, you know, became so okay with it that when they, of course, pulled up on him, he was just chilling. Like, no kind of care in the world, just chilling, drinking tea.
But remember, it's not that he had no care in the world. He was like breaking up on the inside.
Yeah,
like when it shows like what's actually going on in his head.
But he had got to a point where he had gotten comfortable with that, is what I was like saying. And on the outside looking in, that's the way you would look at that.
I don't know if it's that he got comfortable with it, but I think it's more of he was too scared to fix it. Which is like it's similar to comfortable, but it's
he wasn't trying to fix it anymore.
Yeah. He like resigned himself to oblivion.
Yeah, he was settling for it.
Yeah, which is not what the Ubermensch wants you to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But coming to what the Ubermensch was supposed to have on effect of somebody like that is exactly what happened.
But also, if you think about it, also another thing, a good point that you bring up is that if you like you lose your soul if you just let yourself, because the shadow is part of your soul.
Mm-hmm.
It costs your soul to stay where you can't do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
like you have to sacrifice a part of yourself so intrinsically connected to you that it keeps you from being able to do what needs to be done by staying where you're out of danger.
Yeah,
like not sacrificing something is tantamount to, like, I guess the best way to say it, if you're not sacrificing what you want to, you're going to have, like, the time's going to take something no matter what. Like, you have to sacrifice something. So if you're not sacrificing yourself or the part of yourself that you want to get better, then you just sacrifice your soul, and then you're just, for lack of a better word, fucked.
And it's crazy because you take that, everything you just said, you take Brooks' entire existence and you break all that down. Literally, what everything he was a musician first. He lost, then he became a pirate. Then he lost.
No, remember, he was a knight and then a pirate.
Okay,
musician, then a knight, then a pirate.
So musician, knight, pirate. Okay.
Yeah.
So pirate had ended up taking over his life, and he was a pirate, then a musician, then a knight. Because his job, you know, as a pirate was that was his entire life. Then he was a musician on his crew, and he had the prowess of a knight to end up fighting. So literally, all of that ended up getting taken away from him. And you see in his backstory, he tried to. Of course, he wasn't fighting, since he was lost at sea. So all he had was his music, and of course, his music slowly ended up fading away because, of course, he didn't have anyone play music for, and all he did was play for himself. Then you go to a part where he meets the Straw Hats, and you see in his Ryuma fight, and it's even magnified now that you brought it up, he had lost everything to the point that the only thing he identified with was his afro. And that's where it ended up, you see Ryuma to the point where he's trying to slash the afro because he's trying to hit who he is. He's trying to break him even more. He's not trying to kill him because, you know, at that point he can't kill him because if he dies, then...
But also, if you want to think about it, it's the part of himself that he sacrificed with being complacent is torturing him over what he gave up.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look into him getting his shadow back, which is like, of course, him getting like a part of him back, like a part of his soul back, like you say, the shadow is synonymous with the soul. Then to turn around and now they vanquish that enemy, and then he ends up getting to do what he hasn't done for anybody in such a long time in that banquet, and play for people again, which was a part of the other part of his soul that was missing. So for him to come back like that, and then you put he gets to, you know, because knights with honor and everything, to have a code of some kind again, to a purpose of some kind again, and joining the Straw Hats, you put all that together, and him, you know, basically then cured his entire nihilism in his personal life in just those moments. And it's just so crazy to just think about and put together when you think about what the Overman is supposed to do for someone. It literally did that for Brook.
Each person that joins the crew, Luffy saves from their form of nihilism.
Yeah.
Because they each have, like, their own different, like, like Usopp's nihilism was like he just lied to himself about how good his life was,
Yeah.
so that he didn't have to deal with the fact that his life's hell and he can't live with himself.
Yep.
Because that's his entire thing. He wants to be someone worthy of remembering.
Exactly.
Like, he wants to be worthy of all the lies that he's told. And then, like, Zoro's nihilistically just giving up on life because he couldn't protect one person.
Exactly. Yeah. He couldn't protect, nihilistically giving up on life. He couldn't protect one person, so he puts the burdens of everything. Like, the dream of that
he
one
just
person.
says, fuck it, kill me.
Yeah. Yeah. He's literally like that.
Yeah.
Fuck,
He just
kill
says,
me
fuck
the
it,
whole
kill
while.
me.
But he's got something to achieve in the process.
Yeah, and then Sanji's is a little bit harder because he's not really nihilistic. It's like he's on the edge of falling to nihilism because he knows that he'll never get his dream being stuck in Baratier. Like, that's why Zeph is just like, you're going to go and you're going to like it. Like, we know you want to go.
Because you never really, the thing about Sanji, which was crazy, you'd think his dream would be kind of like Chopper's dream, and like what he wanted to do is like, you know,
feed the world.
Feed the world, be the best chef, like how Chopper wants to heal the world, but no, he just wants to see the all blue, which is
but
like...
remember, the reason he wants to see the all blue is because the stories his mom told him about the all blue. Like, you learn in Whole Cake that you think it's because it has fish that no other sea has, but it's secretly because his mom wanted to see the all blue.
So maybe his nihilistic trait was disbelief.
It could be.
So, like, his thing with following Luffy is that he's teaching himself the whole time how to trust his beliefs and not, like, his illusion of what is real and what's not. You see, that's what he does in Whole Cake. He trusts his illusion of, oh, like, you really thought that them going to get Zeph would have been enough to literally make Luffy not want to help you. Like, bruh, you were there with what they tried to do with Robin.
Luffy just like, no, we'll help you and then we'll go save Zeph. Just get on the fucking boat.
Like, he was there for when they had the exact same thing with Robin. Why would he think it would be any different?
Yeah.
Like, so it was more of like he...
Well, I guess like he think it would be different because there's nobody but Robin on the line with Robin's thing.
Yeah.
And like Sanji's would rather die than have someone else die for him.
Yeah, especially somebody as
especially
important to him as Zeph. That too, yeah.
Yeah, because they threatened to kill Nami and Robin too. Okay, he probably couldn't give a shit if Zoro died.
Of course.
He'd be like, I'd shed a tear for Chopper. Frankie, I don't know yet. But Nico and Robin, I'll kill for. Because remember, he threw hands with his brother because they beat up a maid. Yeah. And the only reason he got his ass kicked, because remember, he beats the crap out of 4. He beats the crap out of Green.
Yeah.
While Green has his raid suit.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason Blue gets the drop on him is because Blue uses hacks and can't touch him.
And now you talking about Nietsche. What was that? Ichichi?
I thought Ichichi was
red.
one.
Ichichi is red. Yeah, Nietsche is 2.
Because all their names are pun on the Japanese number for 1, 2, 3, and 4.
They're the numbers.
But it's just
and they missed it with Sanji. I thought that was so... It makes sense in the grand scheme of things, but not really because he got... I don't know. Unless his mom named him. It would make sense if his mom named him. I'll look into that later.
What part of it?
Because, they run 1, 2, 3, 4, but Sanji's not 3.
No, I looked it up. Sanji's a play on the word 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I thought it was like toe. I must have looked at the wrong shit.
No, what's it called? Sanji with the G might, but San means 3.
Ah, never mind then.
Yeah, they're all the number and then G. Like J-I. Because in the translation of the manga I actually read, it actually explains the joke in like a little asterisk. Like when it says all their names, it's all a play on their numbers. Because their raid suit says their numbers on it.
Yeah.
But, and then, like, Robin, we have an entire arc based on saving her. Because at first, she just tags along because it seems interesting. She just felt
like she was a burden on everybody. And, like, she just felt she would eventually become a burden because of her past.
Yeah. And then Frankie, like, turned to the dark side, if you think about it, because he became, like, a wanted criminal. Member of the criminal underworld.
Yeah.
Because he was the Water 7's king of the underworld.
Yeah.
And then Nami has like the most nihilistic outlook on everything.
Yeah.
Out of all of them when you think about it. Because her whole thing was just, I'm going to save these people and then I'm just going to fuck off. Because I've had enough.
She was, I would say it was like picking a side, I guess. Finding a home for her. Or like a place where, I don't know, I ain't going to say a place where she belongs because I don't think she cared about that. But
yeah,
I think it was more like a home for her. More than like, every time.
Yeah, it's starting to rain.
Yeah,
I can hear it. I don't think it's so much a home so much as it is a place where she doesn't feel hopeless.
Yeah.
Because that's her whole nihilism was that she just felt utterly hopeless.
Yeah, because Arlong and his whole thing, she understood that being with him was furnishing his dream, not hers.
Yeah, she just felt hopeless. Like, that's her entire thing. She was, like, hopelessly nihilistic.
And
like,
Chopper,
she had no hope of a better...
I think Chopper's the only one we hadn't spoke about.
And then Chopper's would be...
I think his would be the fit-in one that I was like...
Yeah.
His would be the... basically the home for him kind of.
Yeah, he has no place where he feels safe.
Yeah, feels safe. No place where he feels like he is welcomed. No place where he feels like, keeps up with him.
And it made him think that no one would like him, even though that's what he wants more than anything.
Yeah.
Was people to care about him. And so he was like, he nihilistically gave up on the hope of a family. Because, like, he had, like, 2 people, but then he refused to let anybody else come into the circle. But it just leads into the whole Brook thing.
I think the only one I think is left, but I don't think Jinbei is worth mentioning right now.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned Jinbei yet. Yeah. And Jinbei is not a nihilist.
Yeah, not at all.
He's like because Jinbei is, like, 40 years old.
Yeah.
So he's, like, fully formed that identity. He's, like he's overcome that part of himself. That's why he comes up so much later. He shows up so much later.
Yeah.
That's like why Yamato doesn't ride with them, because she wants to fix those problems herself.
Yeah.
Or he wants to fix 100%. Those problems herself.
No, she 100% does. Because it's like, you looked at, we'll get to one. I don't want to get off into that.
Because that is the person that was supposed to be next, but they said, no, I got to stay and work on me.
It hurt. Like, it hurt Yamato not joining, but it makes sense.
But it's what they need.
Yeah.
It's what Yamato needs.
100%.
They'd get dogged on if they went
Also because, they ain't got that, Yamato didn't have that same identity, like concrete identity that Odin had. And I think that's what she needed to develop.
Odin knew exactly who he is and what he wanted. And Yamato just knows that she wants to be Odin.
Yeah.
And the only reason that she feels so connected to Odin is because Odin promised to beat her dad.
Yeah. 100%.
And then, after Brook officially joins the Straw Hats, Lola talks to Nami and gives her a Viva card and explains kind of how Viva cards work. You take the person that you want to make it out of fingernail clippings.
Or
hair.
It's like just like straight physical DNA. Tangible physical DNA.
It's just weird that he specifically says fingernail clippings.
Yeah.
Like the manga just says fingernail clippings. But they get there, or she gives him it and explains how it works. Luffy's just like, I think I got a piece of paper like that.
Yeah.
And then Tommy's just like, didn't Ace give you one? And he's just like, oh yeah. And then he looks at it and it's smoldering. And he's like, what's that mean? And Lola's just like, that means that he's close to death.
Life's in danger.
Yeah. And then Luffy's just like, yeah, I know it. I know my big brother. My big brother's so strong that he doesn't need us to help unless it's actually on fire. Because he'd be mad at me if I thought he was weak enough to need my help.
That which just tells you a lot about their family and their dynamic.
But also, like, how much Luffy trusts him.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I trust my big brother so much that I know that his life's in danger, but I know he doesn't need my help unless it's to the point where it's unsolvable. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, if it's on fire, we're running there. But I know my big brother well enough to know that he's pretty much unstoppable. And we know now, being further back, he is stronger than most of the warlords at this current time.
Yeah.
Like, he's stronger than Crocodile. He stronger than the one Kuma replaces. Because he's the one reason that guy's no longer a warlord.
Yeah.
Probably stronger than Hancock.
Yeah. It's hard with
It's
Hancock.
hard to say.
Because, they scale her power based off how
Attracted someone is to her. The hotter you think she is, the less of a chance you have to beat her. Like, that's the...
But the only way it doesn't work is if the chance is 0. Like Luffy. That's the only reason it works.
But I can see Ace being like that too.
Yeah.
But also with the comment that he makes to Otama, you never know.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those like, you never... But Ace is, at this point, one of the strongest people that we know about. And has the utmost respect and admiration of one of the strongest mythical Zoan users in the world and the strongest person alive at the time.
Yeah.
So, like, we know that Ace is the real deal. Ace is strong AF. Then the crew...
It's just another thing about the Viva card that they did. The fact that how it takes... First off, it takes such a heart ablaze to a different kind of standard, because it's not a good thing in that standard in that Viva card. But how it went from just literally like that piece of paper at that point, nobody probably remembered it before it first aired. Like when they brought that piece of paper back and how important it just turned out to be out of nowhere, like I thought that was crazy. Like, cause it was not no kind of sense of urgency at all until that moment arose and they showed that piece of paper smoldering and burning. Like the amount of weight that thing came to and just brought, that was just sitting there the whole time. I wonder how long was it smoldering? Like when did it first start smoldering in Luffy's story? That would be something really good.
What's it called?
Like at what point was Luffy at when that thing started smoldering? Like, was it when
we know roughly it would have been the start of Thriller Bark.
Like right when it started, when they first popped that barrel?
Yeah, so it was only like a day or two ago.
Okay.
Because remember, they what's it called? They find out in this episode that he's at Impel Down. That's what the Elder tells Kuma.
So yeah.
That's what he was there for.
That would have been probably in their Blackbeard fight.
Yeah, so it would have been the Blackbeard. Because remember, Blackbeard smacks the shit out of him.
Yeah, he beat the fuck out of him, boy. Yeah,
only because he has hacks.
He beat Buddy up. Buddy kind of hurt right now.
But
you know what I'm saying?
What's it called? What he does, Kuma was just there to tell Moria to get your shit packed. You got to be at Marineford. Yeah. That's what he was there for originally. So Aces wasn't smoldering, but for like a day or two. Because Kuma can get anywhere almost instantaneously in the world. Because you remember, Amazon Lily is super far away from Sabaody. Because it takes Rayleigh like 2 days to swim there.
Yeah.
So it's far away. And Luffy's only flying for like a day. So, Thriller Bark is very close to Sabaody, or to Marineford. Based on like how close it is to the Navy base that's in Sabaody. You know?
Yeah,
like it's real close. So he could probably get to Thriller Bark in like a couple hours. So Ace might have been a day, and so 2 days from when Kuma shows up, because they're on Thriller Bark for a night.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been very long. Also, I wonder, does the piece of paper get hot, and how'd Luffy not notice it if it does?
That's a good question too. That's a very good question.
But actually, no, I think it is hot because I remember when he actually dies, I believe Luffy says, like it hurt, like holding the piece of paper hurt.
I don't know.
I could have sworn I could be.
There,
he's burnt to hell and back from a Kainu, so it's like
at that point.
a bunch of different stuff it could be. But yeah. So the crew is chilling. One thing, I don't know if it shows it in anime, but they have a swimming pool on the Sunny.
Yeah.
How is Chopper not weak?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
No, I just noticed that today. I was just like, wait a minute.
I could not tell you.
Like, wait a minute. Like,
I don't think that far ahead.
No, it was just like one of those things where I was just like, why is he just having fun? Shouldn't he be like, I don't feel so good, Chief?
Maybe because it's not seawater. That's probably it. It's like, at that point, it's pool water. It's not in the sea anymore. Or you don't even know where it came from.
Or, like, I just want to know why Sea Stone works so well. That's my big thing. Because, like, Sea Stone's such an interesting concept. But while they're chilling, Robin, Luffy, and I can't remember who it is else in the... It's not Frankie. I think it's Sanji. They take the Sunny 3, the shark sub. They go looking around. They go 5,000 meters down or 500. I can't remember exactly which one it is. I'm pretty sure it's 1,000 down. And they get chased by a Sea King. And Luffy uses Gum Gum Rifle. And I will say something that I really like about the naming convention of Gum Gum Rifle. That's really clever. It's, you know what rifling is, right?
Like a gun?
Yeah, like what the part of the gun is the rifling. It's the corkscrew inside the barrel.
Yeah.
So Gum Gum Rifle is when he twists his arm all up and then punches.
Yeah.
So it gives him more rotation.
Yep.
So it's just a nice touch that's Gum Gum Rifle. And then there's Gum Gum Pistol, which is just regular punch.
Straight, yep.
But Gum Gum Rifle is a more correct punch. Because, you know, Gum Gum, he just has fish straight ahead and just moves them forward. But to, like, actually have real power and put your hips into a punch, you got to twist it. So it's just a nice, like, Luffy's finally learning how to fight properly. Yeah. Is what it shows. Like, because like, when he goes training, it's, like, really emphasized. But he's finally learning how, like, before he just got by off just pure inhuman strength thanks to who his grandparents is. Like, just because Garp was naturally this strong when he was that age, Luffy's naturally that strong. And then it's augmented by the fact that being a rubber person is OP as shit.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, Garp's probably known how to fight his entire life. Luffy doesn't really know how to fight. And we'll learn about that in like 200 episodes. But he never really taught himself how to fight. He just got through on the back of the fact that he is so ridiculously strong for a normal person.
He really is.
Like, he's just so much stronger than he has any business being. And so, like, he's finally learning how to fight. And I think it's just a good, like he does the first Gum Gum Rifle to Bluno. And also it shows that he has a knack for fighting with Bluno because he sees Bluno does moonwalk and then he can copy moonwalk and shave. Mm-hmm. But that's, like, neither here nor there. But it's just the fact that he consistently uses rifle shows that he's learning how to actually fight and not just using his wild brute strength, which is a good character development.
Because, you know, that's what they said that's what he kind of relied on the whole pre-time skip was just his brute strength.
But also it reinforces something very important post-time skip.
Yeah.
That really explains, like, all this stuff. You got to do it to understand it.
Yeah.
Like, it reinforces, because Luffy's never really trained. He just...
And that's,
like, he did the stuff with his brothers.
Crazy. That's crazy to say that, because that's exactly he really did make that shift. Now that I'm just thinking about it, going from just trying to brute strength like unga bunga everything, and then just went like, you know what? I can learn how to just street you. I'm already gonna beat your ass, but I'm gonna really learn how to beat your ass.
The big thing is, I want to know what the thing that spurred him on to start doing stuff like that was when he had all the shadow stuffed inside of him, because he had all these different ways to fight in his head.
Yeah.
Because that's like when we go further into it, like the thumbnail is him punching a celestial dragon in the face. He has proper form when he throws that punch. For the first non-gum rifle, like he starts here near his hip and puts his entire, like he never whips his shoulder into it unless it's a whip attack. But no, he full sailed, like throws a proper punch like you would be taught at a boxing gym or something like that. Like he throws an actual punch, not just I'm brute strength, so I go. But and you see, it's much stronger than the hits he's been landing on these other people with like just a quick gum pistol or something like that. Because Charlos goes flying and it wrecks almost the entire house, like the entire auction house. Like half of the auction house is ruined by that one punch. Because he hits Charlos so hard that Charlos bounces through the bleachers and then into the wall. And then off the wall. And all those bleachers are just destroyed.
Exactly.
So it's just, I wonder, because before that, he just Unga Bunga throw people around. And I just thought it was cool. Then, when he punches the rabbit sea beast, Papagu.
Nah, wait, what? Rabbit sea beast?
That's the sea beast that they punch
Rabbit sea beast.
Yeah, it's a rabbit fish snake thing.
What the hell you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Papagu, the owner of Criminal Designs. I had to say it like that. It's in my contract. And Kami, the mermaid, fall out of the fish. We learn Kami's a dunce. Papagu's kind of cool. And they are in a takoyaki stand, or however you say that word.
Takoyaki. And
it turns out that's randomly Luffy's favorite food.
Yeah.
Well, it's not his actual favorite food. Apparently his favorite food, because I Googled it after that. It's just like, there's no way that's his favorite. He said other things are his favorite food. But apparently it's just any kind of meat. He doesn't care what it is. Mm. It's just that he'll just say, like if someone says something that sounds really good, that's meat, he'll say that's his favorite, apparently. Just because it's the thing that's in his head at the time. Which makes sense for someone like Luffy. But the boss of the taiyaki fritter stand gets captured by some slavers, and we learn about the dark world of 1800s America. I mean, the slave trade of One Piece. That's kind of what's gonna happen.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, like it's like the government's okay with it and everything. Well, actually, it's probably closer to the Ottoman's Empire slave trade with how it is, but that's neither here nor there. The person that runs the stand is kind of weird that it's Hachi from Arlong's crew. But the weird part is that he's an octopus fisherman, and he makes octopus balls.
Yep, straight cannibalism.
So it's kind of cannibalism.
I think fishmen are like their own race, though, in One Piece world. So if they're like their own race, I think this is...
Like each subspecies is their own race?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I'm going to go with that. That's what I'm going to go with.
Also, octopus ain't fish. They're closer to, like, other things that aren't fish.
Hey, it's all well.
And he's only, like, one of two that we've seen in the entire story. Because we're going to run into another octopus later. But, yeah, it's just one of those things. But it's a good character moment for Nami. It's a good character moment with Nami, though. Because, like, Nami realizes it's Hachi. And she's just like, I don't want to save him, but I promised Kami, so I'm going to put my absolute hatred for Arlong aside, and we're gonna save him, and then we can see about my hatred after that. Just a good little character moment for Nami, because let's be real, she really hasn't had any since Arlong Park.
Yeah, to that moment, yeah. Ain't been a lot.
Yeah, and so she gives him permission to save him. Oh yeah, there's one thing that cracked me up. I don't know if it happens in the show, but in the manga, do you know what the first question Luffy asked Kami is?
No.
Do mermaids poop?
Yeah.
So his first question to a mermaid was literally, "Does it fart though?" That was his question. For the first time he meeting a mermaid. Because remember, him and Zoro both erased the fact that Granny Kuroko is a mermaid out of their minds. Like, they even make there's an entire picture of it for Zoro's mind when we get there. That's pretty funny. Like, it's just, that's the first thing he does. He's just like, "Does it fart though?" Nami says we can save him. So the crew goes and fights Duval, the man in the iron mask.
Duval's funny.
Duval's a fucking bitch.
Yeah, he's funny though.
This whole thing is my picture got used for Sanji's bounty board. I'm mad at Sanji because now I can't terrorize a small village anymore. Sanji, you're a terrible person. I hate you. I hate Duval so much. And then all the flying fish goons try to do stuff, but they kind of get their asses kicked by the Straw Hats. There's a moment with where we see the new special thing that they haven't had any excuse to use yet because they haven't really had any sea battles in the Sunny. We get to see that there's a reverse system on the Sunny. The lion's mane can spin like a propeller to push them backwards. And they have a special cannon that shoots like not a normal cannon. I'm not sure what it quite is, but it's called the Gowan cannon. I believe is how you say it. But
I think
interesting
it's just like
fact.
compressed air, if I have to think.
Yeah, because he describes it like a coup de boo. You know, like
coup de something. I don't know.
Because it's when he farts, like the explosive fart that lets him fly. He calls that one coup de boo, right?
Some.
But the interesting thing is that gown means genius in Hebrew, or however you say it, it means genius in Hebrew. So it's the genius cannon. But it also runs off cola, so calling it genius is actually like pretty fitting. Because it's technically got infinite ammo as long as you have barrels of Coke.
3.
So
Specifically.
Which is interesting. Duval uses his special bison to attack Luffy. And Luffy's just like, "You're not even worth fighting," and accidentally uses Conqueror's cut. I said it backwards. Conqueror's hockey on the bison knocks it out. Duval's just like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do." And then Sanji kicks him so hard he gets handsome Squidwarded.
Yep, pretty much.
That's not an exaggeration. He gets handsome Squidwarded.
Nope, that's pretty much what happened.
Like, Sanji even jokes about the fact that he kicked him so hard that it rearranged his facial structure. He's just like, "I kicked him so hard I changed his bone structure." So, after saving Hachi, Papagu, and Kami make the crew as many takoyakis as they can eat. And it turns out they ate so much that Hachi almost passes out from exhaustion. And apparently it's Brooks' first time ever having takoyaki, and he's just like, "This is great." And even Sanji is impressed because he wants Hachi's recipe for the sauce, which is, you don't see that a lot.
Not at all.
They arrive at Sabaody Archipelago. they're giant mango trees. Roots go down. Roots big. Roots make an island. That's the best way to describe the Sabaody archipelago. They go to hang out. They park at Grove 41. Zoro is an idiot and only sees the one. Like, how's he only see the one? It was a bubble blocking the four.
He wasn't really trying to look, is what I saw.
But
like he was just glancing on over there. Like,
it's an important point, though, that it proves that he doesn't have a terrible sense of direction. Because when he has to get to port 1, he gets there almost fucking immediately. Remember? Yeah. When they're just like, everybody gets to port 1, he's there in a couple of minutes. So his sense of direction clearly isn't that bad. So it's weird. I don't really know. So while they're looking for the ship coder, the Straw Hats decide to go. Well, first they go to the bar where he normally is, the ship coder is, and Shaki, who runs the bar, is just like, he's not here right now. We got no clue where he is. And they're just like, okay, we're gonna go find him. And Luffy's just like, she says sometimes he goes to the amusement park, so we're going to the amusement park. 'Cause I've never been to an amusement park. And everyone's just like, you know what, Luffy? That's some good reasoning. Let's go to the amusement park. But the reason that they are like that is because it's actually fishmen and mermaids all have dreams of going to the Sabaody amusement park. Because Sabaody, half of it is lawless and still treats fishmen like they did 200 years ago by enslaving them and treating them like absolute shit. Like, think of it as like 1890s America. They basically have what do you think the fisherman equivalent to Jim Crow would be?
Man, whatever the Celestial Dragons was trying to do to him. Whatever Fisher Tiger went through.
Fisher Tiger laws. That's what we're going to call them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They basically, Sabaody basically has Fisher Tiger laws. It's like if they show up, like if they say, what's it called? They're allowed to strip them of all their rights and enslave them on the archipelago. And they make so much money and pay such a good tribute that the Marine HQ just ignore it. And while they're playing in the amusement park, Kami gets kidnapped. And Luffy's just like, I'm going to beat the hell out of everybody. Because if you didn't learn from Arlong Park, Luffy does not get down with racism. He hates it a lot. Like, I guess, like, Luffy would technically be one of the most anti-racist characters in the history of fiction, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Because, like, every time he hears somebody's being racist, he just punches them in the face.
Anti-racist, anti-all that.
Well, I guess, like, anti-racist isn't the right word. Because, like, he's so against people being racist that he's just like, he'll square up if you call his friends anything. He's just like, what'd you say about Jinbei? Or at the moment, it's like, what you say about Hachi?
Yeah.
Like, he's about to smack the shit out of somebody for insulting Hachi. Like, just wait. While that happens, Zoro's walking through town square. Some celestial dragons pop up. We get
introduced. It's the first time we see them, but
yeah, we get introduced to the other supernovas, which are what they call the worst generation. It's the 11 new rookies with a bounty over 100 million. Yeah. And so, like, Luffy, Zoro, Killer Kid, Law, Bonnie, Gang Bang. I'm calling him Gang Bang. They can kiss my ass. He did that shit on purpose. You could say it bong or bank because I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Capone Gang Beji.
Yeah, it's a like in my head I read it as bong, so I'm gonna call it bang because it's funny. And then you gotta admit that makes his name infinitely funnier if his name is Gangbang.
No, it's not.
Especially because of what his power is.
It's not. It's definitely not. It's definitely not funny.
Boss Basil. Basil Hawkins.
Basil Hawkins.
I'm calling him Basil Hawkins because he's fucking useless. When you're not a fraud, you can. Remember, he gets his ass kicked by Killer. He doesn't get to say shit to me.
He didn't really get his ass kicked by Killer. He just thought Killer just thought outside the box that Basil Hawkins didn't think about.
So Basil Hawkins has one of the most OP devil fruits in the verse. Like, he can't die if he doesn't want to die. Like, that's basically how it works.
No. Here's the thing.
But
he has. I wouldn't say he has an OP devil fruit. For the simple fact of, it's not like it stops him from dying. It stops him from any blow that might do a significant amount of damage. Not kill him, do a significant amount of damage. Because you can think
the reason Kid gets released is because he cut off the arm that has Kid in it. If he would have cut off the other arm, he'd still have Kid.
What happened was he cut something that, because the whole thing with Basil Hawkins and Kid, the Killer and Basil Hawkins fight, was that he had Kid's soul. So anything he did to Basil Hawkins, he did to Kid. What he decided to do was cut the arm off cut Basil's arm off that Kid already had missing.
Yeah, the one Shanks cut off.
It didn't translate. But the thing is, that wouldn't have killed him. Like, it would have.
No, what I'm saying is, he would have still had Kid's soul if he didn't store it in that fucking arm.
Oh, well.
That's the whole reason he's able to free. So he could have kept going until Kid died. So, like, his devil fruits. Remember, the reason Law beats him is because Law has, like, confirmed one of the most OP devil fruits in the entire world. Like,
100%.
Yeah, the OPO meets, like, convert, like, especially when Law has it awakened at that point. Like, he's 100%, like, he has the most hacks out of anybody.
Yeah.
Like, that's his power. It's just, I make a circle, I can control reality within the circle.
Yep.
Like, that's his power. And so, like, the reason Basil Hawkins it doesn't work is because he just used OP no me on the people. So it's just like, cool, I just killed these people, but they're not dead because we're inside my room, so you're out of souls now. So, you can't beat me, bitch. That's basically how their fight goes. So Basil Hawkins, his devil fruit is OP. It's just,
for the situation it was in.
Yeah, it's just that he uses it like a fucking moron. So he does not deserve any of my respect. And I will continue to dog on him.
Scratchman Apu is the worst for me.
Yeah, I don't really like him either. Scratchman Apu, and then Drake. Drake's pretty cool because his devil fruit is OP as shit.
And then there's Rouge.
Oh, yeah.
Which we don't know that much about him.
We just know that he's from Sky Island or somewhere adjacent. We know that he's from a Sky Island.
No, we know he's from Burkham.
I don't remember. That's a Nels Island, right?
That's the one he came from.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought. So the thing is, though, like, Drake's is cool because we learn in Wano that the ancient Zoans are only weaker than mythical Zoans when it comes to the power scaling of what's it called? Because it turns out how powerful the animal is that your Zoan fruit is determines how strong you are when you turn into it.
For the most part, yeah.
So if you're an OP animal, you're OP as shit. But if you're like a mouse, you're screwed. It's like Kaku turning into a giraffe. The reason he's strong is because Kaku, it didn't really make him any stronger, but
he just used it in the right way. That's all it was.
Well, the big thing was he was a master of Tempest Kick and 4 sword saw. So being a giraffe gave him 5 swords, and that was the thing that made it special.
Yep.
Especially when you see how he fights now.
Still trying to fucking understand how Kaido's fruits the fish. Still trying to understand.
I think it's because it's the type of dragon he is.
I know.
Said to come from
it's for the it's for the lore, for what it is. But it's like, bro, come on, dog.
I think it's like because of the kanji, because like
it's 100% because of the lore.
But the kanji for all the dinosaur fruits is ancient dragon zoan fruit.
But I forgot what I was gonna say.
But yeah, Drake's and Allosaurus is kind of cool. His hybrid form looks fucking stupid though. It looks like he has a Barney costume on. Take it off, BJ looking motherfucker.
No, Zoro. Yeah, where we left off. Zoro. Nah, bruh. Freaking this moment right here with how they set the celestial dragons up versus like everything that Zoro stands for. It was freaking like crazy. Like the whole time they got these celestial dragons that brought in there. Oh, you gotta kneel when you look at them. Oh, you can't look at them in the eye. Oh, they do what they want to, and then Zoro just moseying on along being Zoro. Oh, he looked at me and it's like,
you need directions.
Yeah,
It's
like,
just so funny,
bruh. Like that whole moment right there was very, very synonymous with Zoro. Like, you need any moment in the show to describe Zoro, that was it right there. Like, right there.
Yeah.
Like,
and then he goes to kill Charlos. Like, he doesn't go to hurt Charlos. He's going to kill Like, everyone comments on, like, they felt the murderous intent of right before he got stopped because Bonnie tackles him to the ground. It's just like, no, you killed my brother. Like, Bonnie pretends to be a little kid, tackles him to the ground, goes, why'd you shoot my big brother? Just to save his life. But Zoro was 100% about to kill Saint Charlos.
oh yeah,
because Zoro doesn't, also going into it later, like we'll know in a few minutes, Zoro was 100% prepared to kill Charlos. Because you got to remember, Zoro and Robin are the only ones on the crew that are fine with killing people.
100% fine.
They're the only ones with actual bodies to their name. Like, Zoro has killed people before. He's killed multiple people. Because we learned in his backstory when he teaches, what's it called? Yosuke and whatever their names are. He straight up kills one of those dudes. He's just like, nah, bro, you don't deserve to live. You know what you did to that village? Just straight up kills the man.
Yep.
Like, just straight up, he's just like... So, Zoro was going to kill Charlie. He was going to full-ass single sword style. I forgot the name of it. The technique where he crouches down with one sword. About to hit Charlos with that shit. I thought Rashomon was two sword style.
He got... Oh, wait.
Yeah, because Rashomon's the one where he's like...
Look, I'm thinking about Bird Dance, and I'm thinking about
It
Tiger.
might be Bird Dance.
Tiger, one of his tigers.
Yeah.
He got a couple tigers. But
Tiger Trap.
I know Tiger hunts with like two swords. But
yeah, he's about to straight up kill Charlos because he does not put up with that bullshit Charlos is on. Like, at all. And then after Charlos leaves and he gets up, he's just like, why'd you put tomato juice on me? Bonnie's like, because we had to pretend you were dead, stupid. And then they, what's it called? I can't think of the name. He picks up the dude that got shot because Charlos kidnaps his wife. It's like, you my new wife, bitch. And that's how the entire thing started. Because Charlos shot an innocent dude. And Zoro does not stand for that shit. Which, like, Zoro doesn't put up with much except for from Luffy. Like, that's the only person shit that we've ever seen him put up with. I guess technically Usopp's.
To a degree.
Yeah. But then...
Because even Zoro gets tired. We see that all the time.
And then right after that is when they all converge trying to find Cammy. Turns out it's at the human auction house.
Yep.
And Zoro magically gets there almost immediately. Like, Luffy's looking for him longer. Like, already on the flying fish, and Luffy barely beats Zoro. So I'm convinced Zoro's not just bad with directions. Because he went to the place that he was trying to go. It was just the wrong place. I just think he just doesn't give enough of a shit to learn where he is the first time.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Because this time he takes the effort to go like, we are here. Cool. I remember with that. It's that place. Then what Kid says in the anime when they're like talking about how how fucked up it is that they have a slave trade in the archipelago. He says, when the people in power act this cruel and greedy, it makes common criminals like us look pretty human by comparison. When scum like that are the ones writing the rules, it creates more scum. They hate pirates, but they're the ones who made them. Like, that's a pretty hard line coming from Kid.
Paradoxical line, yep.
Yeah, he's just like, they can't be mad they create, and it's even crazier like how much that holds true later on in the story, like when we learn about Joy Boy and stuff, cause Joy Boy might have just been branded a pirate.
That's possible.
Like, we don't know. Like, they created the system in which pirates are needed, and then they're mad that pirates exist, but they're the ones that create the entire system. So Kid's just calling them out on their absolute fucking bullshit.
That last man talk.
Yeah, he's just like... And then he says, he like jokes to Killer. He's just like, should we buy someone while we're here? It's just like, God damn, Kid.
That just extends on what kind of life pirates live.
Yeah.
Just going back
also,
to that, they just do it.
Kid has a bounty that is $15 million higher than Luffy's. But it's not because he's stronger. It's because Kid doesn't care who he hurts to get what he wants.
Yep.
He'll hurt kids. So that says that Luffy is substantially stronger than Kid at this point.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because when you think about that, it's like literally the way Kid went about it, it literally lets you know that he's a ruthless individual. But for the type of money that Luffy and Kid have on their head at this time, it's like 15, just 15. That's it.
Yeah, 15 is the difference between an attack.
That's it. Like, you mean to tell me all you did it your way, got feared, killed all them kids, rape, pillage, all that. Luffy been beaten up because righteously, you can say the only reason Luffy bound that high because he went against the government.
Yeah.
And truth be told,
the big thing is he beat Arlong, and that's like what started him having a high bounty.
Yeah,
was beating Arlong.
But it was also because beating Arlong, but in the middle of government business. Because it was Ratface that really started his big thing.
And then Enies Lobby just made it multiply. And then remember, like, they swept Thriller Bark under the rug, so he didn't get more notorious for that. So Thriller Bark realistically should have added another 50 to it.
Same thing. Yeah.
Then Enies Lobby, like, that added a bunch to it. But it's just interesting. Like Luffy's just that much stronger than his contemporaries already, and then like post time skip, it just gets
ridiculous.
And then Kid. Well, actually, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. They get ready to auction off Cammy.
Yep.
Charlos is just like, oh my god, a mermaid! I want a mermaid. She'll be my wife. And it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with this man?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what? And then he starts talking shit, and Hachi's just like, no, don't stand against the celestial dragons. Don't do it. No, Luffy, don't do it. No. Sounding like Kevin Hart saying, no. He wasn't ready. Yeah. That's what Hachi sounds like with that stuff. And then Charlos shoots Hachi, and Luffy gets the cold eyes, and he only gets the cold eyes like twice. Literally. This far. It's like when Arlong talks about using Nami, he gets the cold eyes and actually seriously punches him, and it instantly ends the fight. Crocodile, yeah, he gets the serious eyes when he uses the Gum Gum Storm. And is that all the serious eyes I can think of
at that point?
Thus far? So he smacks Charlo so hard that the color leaves the animation.
Yep.
Like, legit.
David
say, like, Charlos almost dies. Like, when we get to the reverie, like, we learn that he almost died. Remember? Mm-hmm. When we get to the reverie, he's like, I almost died trying to get a mermaid the first time.
Yep.
But here's the part of that moment that I love, is that Zoro says, "Thank God he punched him, because I would have killed him."
Yep.
Like, Zoro don't play the, like, or his exact words is, "I would have slashed him," but we know that means kill, because Charlos is weaker than a normal person.
100% weaker than a normal person.
Because, like, he just doesn't do anything hard.
They're probably the weakest people in the show.
Well, some of them. Because, like, the God Knights are OP as shit.
I said weakest.
I know.
The Celestial Dragons are probably the weakest people in the show.
Morally. But no, it's because God Knights are Celestial Dragons?
No, in general.
Or is it just that Garland happens to be a fucking
beast? No, it ain't got nothing to do with... I'm talking about the base level, not special Celestial Dragons like Charlos and all of them. Not the special ones. The ones that got a title on them.
Also, they probably have... Like, none of them probably have Conqueror's Hockey for real.
No.
Like, ever. Just because of what you need to have Conqueror's Hockey. None of them probably have that shit.
They ain't got that.
Yeah,
dog
none of them had
them.
a dog. You know, that's what Conqueror's Hockey is. It's having that dog in you. So yeah, probably none of, and that makes them much weaker too than like everybody else. So, but like, so they just like Zoro was gonna kill Charlos, like straight up kill him. So Charlos tried to spend $500 million on Camie, which is hilarious to me. Luffy full sends punches Charlos in the face. And I like what that says. It's Luffy denying absolutely everything the last man has to offer.
100%.
Like, he's just like, I don't even want to be in the same room as a last man.
Yep.
Like, fuck this hedonistic bullshit.
It shows him literally rejecting all the last man and all their ideals. It shows his true peers, the people who try to do the exact same thing that he doing, that y'all follow these rules out here that they done set for y'all. I don't. And that's just why it resonated so much with Kid and Law and all the other supernovas that were there. It's like, y'all heard about this dude, Luffy. Now y'all seeing this dude, Luffy, and you still can't believe it. You heard all the stuff they was talking about him, what he did in his lobby, what he been doing, how he took down the warlords. But now y'all seeing it. And it's like, y'all seeing that, hey, he ain't following these rules. Y'all scared of these Celestial Dragons. Don't want to do nothing. He not. Y'all scared of a Buster Call and these admirals. He not. And it reinforces everything that Luffy ever stood for in this one moment in this story. It's like, F all the establishment, what they say they gonna do, what they say they can do, who they is, what they done did out here. Don't care about none of that. You shot my homeboy. Also, you trying to sell my friend. You got to get hurt.
Also, there's the whole thing that pisses him off is that the strength of the Celestial Dragons comes from what happens if you do something to them, and Luffy doesn't respect that.
No, 100%.
Like, it's not, I'm strong enough to do this thing, so I'm going to do this thing. It's, if you touch me, my underlings will fuck you up. And Luffy's just like, who gives a damn about your underlings? I don't see any of them here.
Yep.
I don't even care if they show up. I don't care if they jump me. I'm still going to beat your ass, and you can't stop it. Like, you can't do shit about me wanting to beat the shit out of you. Like, that's, like, the vibe that it gets off. He's just like,
oh, yeah.
Like, you might be able to call a Buster Call. You might be able to have your buddies fuck me up. But what you gonna do till they get here? Like, damn, bro. Like, Luffy, chill. Like, that's kind of what it feels like. Because he's just like, damn the consequences. Damn, like, he's totally ready to face all that bullshit that comes with hitting a Celestial Dragon. Because it was worth it to get one good lick before he had to go through hell. It was worth it to go through hell to get one good look on the darkest part, like to deal a substantial blow to the darkest, most depraved version of humanity possible. Like, he thought it was worth going, because he's about to go through absolute hell because of this punch. Like, he's about to get to his, like, in 150 episodes, he's going to have the lowest point he's ever been at in his life. And this punch directly led to that moment. So, it's just, this punch changes everything. Like, changes everything in the story. Then
you see everything in a different light after this punch.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then we find out that the what's it called? The shipcoder sold himself into slavery because he wanted to rob a rich person that bought him, which is funny. Turns out that the shipcoder is actually Rayleigh Silver.
Silver's Rayleigh.
One of the strongest pirates in the history of the world. Gold D. Rogers' main man, the Dark King, the find out man himself, the fuck around and find out man himself of the story. Like, and what's it called? He can use advanced version of like every hockey. We don't know that yet, but he can. And he uses advanced armament hockey to rip the explosive collar off Kami so that she can't be sold as a slave. Pretty gangster moment. Because it like shows what is possible in the world, you know? Mm-hmm. His Conqueror's hockey is so strong, it knocks out everybody that's not a Supernova crew member. Like, everybody else is just knocked out. But also, it seems like he's just so good at it that it didn't knock out the slaves too. Like, he just directed it directly in front of him. He didn't want to hit anybody that he didn't have to, which is a nice touch. Like, it just shows like he might actually care about what's happening to people. So it's just a nice touch. Luffy meets Rayleigh. Rayleigh's been wanting to meet him because Rayleigh was Roger's right-hand man, and that hat is actually Roger's. We learned that from Rayleigh, and Rayleigh is excited to meet him because Shanks talked about how good of a person Luffy is and how he's the only person that's ever reminded him of Roger.
Yep.
Like that. He's like, he sounds exactly like Roger did. Like, he's just a kid version of Roger all over again. And Rayleigh, being one of Roger's closest friends, like one of the people that was with Roger from the beginning, like when they were just rookies, like, of course he wants to meet the man that's just like one of his closest friends. That it makes total sense that he would want to meet him. Luffy, Kid, and Law show off for promo material, and they beat a battalion of people. And then Pacifista show up, and the main man, Admiral Borsellino Kizaru, shows up riding on a cannonball. Not gonna lie, it's kind of a gangster move to show up riding on a cannonball. Like, just standing on it. He shows up, an explosion happens, and he gets ready to fight all the supernovas that's not Luffy and Zoro. And that's pretty much where it ends. That's how episode 400 ends.
Yep, pretty much.
But yeah, these episodes were a little front heavy on like the symbolism and stuff like that. Like, there's a little bit when it comes to like the deal with Charlos, but we're about to get into the thick of it when we get to Amazon Lily, which I think is next week. The start of Amazon Lily.
It should be.
At least the start. We might get all the way through it. I think Impelled Down's like episode 450 or 430.
My phone's about to die.
So I'm pretty sure it's like 430. It's Impelled Down.
Summit or yeah. So Yeah, nah. Amazon Lily's literally 408.
Yeah, I thought so because I thought like
in, and we get to Impel Down.
4:30 ish.
We'll get through the beginning of like the first part of. We'll get through Amazon Lily and the first part of Impel Down by next week.
Oh, it starts earlier than I thought. Impel Down starts at 3:20 something.
Well, no, officially like 4:22. Officially, it's like 4:22.
Yeah, but yeah, it ends at 4:17. They leave Amazon. They're on their way to Impel Down, and then it's learning about what everyone else is going to be doing during the time skip.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, that's it for this week. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate
As
y'all.
always. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, anything. See what we did, need to change, need to alternate, anything, let us know.
Yeah, and let us know if there's anything that y'all like us to work on. Like, y'all, do we need to change the background? Do we need to get a camera? Stuff like that. Like, because right now it's just an audio podcast. But if y'all would rather have a camera, like actually see us, there's not much to see, but like I can get one. Y'all just gotta let me know. And if like, how's the audio, stuff like that, just let us know that stuff. And if it's something that enough people want improved, I'll get it improved. But thanks again, guys. We appreciate y'all stopping by. And
thank you.
Yeah. And I'm Corrupted.
And I am Jack.
And y'all have a good week.